Hi, Shelly here from Family Adventure for All, and today I want to share with you some great ideas for school supplies that you may need if you're road schooling in your RV this year. If you're like us, you want to keep school supplies to a bare minimum because the storage space is pretty limited in a camper or an RV. So I'll show you what we use. First, let's start with a plain, simple spiral bound notebook. This is the kind that has like a slick cover on it, which I kind of like. It holds up a little bit better. I think they're made by Mead. This one is actually the one we started with last year, and as you can see, I've already sectioned off. This is the paper we used last year, and we only used about half of it, so we're just going to continue using it for the 2020-21 year as well, and we probably have enough where we don't even have to buy another notebook. So I would say one notebook like this for each child to do writing, spelling, math exercises, and stuff like that. Secondly, something I find really useful is a clipboard. Let me grab our clipboard here. Clipboard, just a simple clipboard, is really useful because sometimes you want to take your worksheets, your writing assignment, and go outside. As RVers, we have the benefit of camping in some really beautiful places with lots of nature around us and beautiful scenes, so it's nice for the kids to be able to take their stuff outside and work, and a clipboard just helps for a windy day so their papers don't blow all over the place. Clipboard for each child is a really good school supply that you should use. Another thing is, especially if you have a younger child, is a whiteboard. This one's just like $1 whiteboard from Walmart. Comes with a little pen. These are really good for spelling exercises, doing math problems, just anything that you can think of. We even sometimes write our daily schedule on here. Our daughter really likes to know what's happening for the day, so we have multiple ones of these. We have one these are magnetic, by the way. We have one that sticks to our oven, which is metal, and we just write kind of today's schedule on there so she knows kind of what to expect for the day. Okay, so now we've talked about things to write on, let's talk about what to write with. This year, we are basically using the same supplies that I bought from last year. So we really like pencil boxes. These are great. They kind of help keep things together and organized. They keep them from spilling all over the place in a cabinet or in a storage compartment or in the truck back seat. So I really like this one because it has this little trap door on top, and you can put other little things in here. So we have a fun little pencil sharpener. Manual pencil sharpener I find is just fine. We don't really need an electric pencil sharpener. This one looks like a nose. And just a nice big eraser in case the ones that come on the pencils wear out. Inside the pencil box, we have, last year I bought a big pack of pre-sharpened Ticonderoga pencils are my favorite, like this one. And so I bought a pack of these pre-sharpened and a pack of these ones that are just sort of pretty colors. So we keep that in our pencil box. We also keep my favorite school supply for RVers, which is Crayola Twistables. I've mentioned Crayola Twistables in several of my articles and blog posts. The reason why I love these so much is because they don't melt in the vehicle. So our daughter and your kids probably also like to do things in the back seat, things to keep them busy and occupied while you're traveling down the road. Twistables don't melt. They're like a glorified colored pencil, and you just twist out the colored part in the middle. The biggest rule, the biggest thing to remember is not to twist them all the way out because then they'll break really easily. But we still have several from last year, but a lot of our colors had ran out. So I just, for this coming school year, ordered just a simple pack of 12 of these, just standard Crayola Twistables. And they're pretty cheap on Amazon. Alright, so that's what's in our kind of big pencil box. Those are the things we write and color with. Now this year I let my daughter choose one kind of fun thing, because we really didn't need to order a whole lot of school supplies. I asked her, what is one fun thing you kind of like to have to do our art projects and schoolwork, and she said she wanted scented crayons. So we have kind of like a no crayon rule because crayons melt. The camper gets hot, the truck gets hot, and we really didn't want to have crayons, but I found a wonderful solution. I keep them in this little pencil box. They are Silly Scents, also made by Crayola. They are similar to a Twistable and made from a very similar material. They're short like this and a little bit thicker, and you just twist them up, twist them down, and each one of them has a really good smell. So she's gonna love using these this year. So those are Silly Scents made by Crayola, and there's 24 different fun scents. And we just bought a smaller pencil box because I just had a feeling she was going to want to have these in the truck, and these will kind of fit into her purse really easy. And another thing to keep in mind, if you are road schooling this year and you're planning on visiting national parks, and you're planning on your children participating in the Junior Ranger program, always take a small pencil box with crayons, because just about every national park ranger book that we've gotten has activities where they need to color or design or draw something, and it's kind of boring if you just have the little tiny short pencil that the ranger will give you. Much more fun if you bring your own twistables or Silly Scents, and you can make your ranger book look much nicer. Okay, so that's what we write on, that's what we write and color with. A couple of other things. An iPad or tablet. This iPad is super old, like one of the oldest versions, and it still works. We have a couple of curriculums that have an app. One is the Letter Tiles app that we use for all about reading and all about spelling. It works perfectly on our iPad. Another one is Epic, the reading app, where students or children can find books on their level to read, and they can also find videos to watch and things like that. Works great on the iPad. In addition, our child does not have her own laptop, but for older students, you might want to consider them having their own laptop to be able to type their work, especially if they're writing longer like essays and things of that nature, or if they're doing an online curriculum and they're going to be on the computer for several hours a day doing their coursework or interacting in some sort of online teaching platform. A laptop would be really useful. Right now, our daughter doesn't use the laptop a ton, except for when she writes her blog post, so she just shares and uses mine, and we are an Apple family, so I have a MacBook Air that she uses a lot. Okay, just a couple more things. If you have younger kids, you might want to consider just a simple pair of kids' scissors. Also, we have one bottle of glue, and we have also one glue stick. Those are just simple basic things that most of the time you're going to need every school year, whether you're in public school or road school. Let's see. We have lots of like adult coloring books and design books and things like that. So I found that these gel pens are really nice to have for that. I bought a huge set of these last year on Amazon, and we still have probably at least 3/4 of them left. So the ink lasts a pretty good while. In addition, this particular brand, which I'll link, has replacement ink things that go inside. So if you do run out of a certain color, you can just replace them. Those have been really nice. Another product, if you do a lot of art type things and coloring, and something else I would recommend that I've really loved are these. These are made by Bic. They are Bic marking fine point permanent markers. I really like these even better than Sharpies. I know everybody likes Sharpies, but I really like these. We've had this for 2 years now. We ordered a huge set, tons of really pretty, really bright colors, and like almost all of them still work. So they have not dried up. The tips haven't gotten all dull and everything. They're still really sharp, and I really enjoy having those to do coloring books and to do projects. You may be wondering what I'm messing with here. This is a bag, and I'll just try to show this really quickly. This is a bag that I got at Hobby Lobby. It's actually a sewing bag made for putting yarn inside and little sewing things on the outside. But I think it's perfect. We keep this under our dinette seats in our camper, and we have a little compartment for pencils. Here's some index cards. Here's my Bic fine point markers. We don't use these a lot, so I just keep them up unless we use them. Our gel pens, again, we don't use them every day. These are our just regular magic markers, which we don't use every day. And in here's like the glue that I had gotten out, the scissors, glue sticks, little items like that. In the middle, I keep I bought a multicolored set of construction paper. And we also have just regular printer paper that we just use for drawing and stuff. So this bag is super useful. It keeps everything kind of all together. And the good thing about this, because it has a handle, is if we decide to go out to the picnic table and do a little art project, I just have to grab the bag, take it out, and we have just about everything we need all in one place. So that's it. Those are our school supplies. Things to write on: notebook, whiteboard, clipboard. Things to write with: I love the Silly Scents so far, and also, of course, highly recommend buying a couple of different size pencil boxes, or maybe one for each child, and splitting up the supplies. And I love Twistables. Try them out if you haven't tried them before. Pre-sharpened pencils like Ticonderoga are really good. And of course, something to do some digital online work on, like an iPad or maybe a laptop. That's it. It's pretty simple. Don't need a lot of space to store these things. And that's it for school supplies you may need for this year if you are road schooling in your RV. Have fun, enjoy the adventure.